judgment, 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 final judgment, final judgment, final judgment, final
What is up, Philadelphia? Does it get any better than this? Like, literally, I swear to God, like every day I'm sitting here sweating out NBA bets as Cleveland and Lakers game. I need Darius Garland to get me one more 3-pointer. I'm looking at Christian Wood tonight in Dallas, and all of a sudden, breaking news: Jack Passan, breaks it live. I think it was like Robert Murphy or something was the first one to break it, but Passan gets the numbers, 4 years, $72 million deal. Taijuan Walker is a new starting pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. This just can't get any better, man. This is playing checkers with the entire Major League Baseball committee, and that is Dave Dombrowski and John Middleton. And right now, can we just give it right now? Let's just give a stand up to this guy right here and give him a round of applause at John Middleton, because what he wants is right behind him. You see it right there. This is what he wants. Okay, he wants the trophy to be brought back here to Philadelphia, and he's going to do whatever he needs to do to make sure that happens. Whatever he needs to do. And again, the last time we signed a pitcher from the New York Mets, okay, a guy that they let go, a guy that they said was too injured to sign a big money deal. His name was Zach Wheeler, and he came into Philadelphia, and what has he done? He's pitched like a Cy Young Award winner. Okay, so that deal worked out pretty damn well. And again, 4 years, $72 million. I don't have the exact breakdown yet. Obviously, they'll break it down with the AAV. But again, we talked about AAV with Trey Turner. This is why it was so important. We knew an arm was going to come. We knew it was coming. Yes, I wanted everything, people. I get it. I wanted Carlos Rodon. I think you wanted Carlos Rodon. We all did. I get it. Okay, but he was going to command a 5-6 year deal. Okay, which definitely wasn't in the wheelhouse after everything the Phillies are ready to do. And they're not done. This is the best part. They're not done. You heard Rob Thompson address today at the winter meetings, okay, talking about just the makeup of this team. And let me just say something, too. And again, if you haven't seen it, again, breaking news, okay, I'll put it up for everybody just so everybody knows. They should know by now, but breaking news, Walker agrees to a 4-year deal, $72 million contract with the Phillies on Tuesday. Jeff Passan of ESPN.com reports. And again, this is a guy, I get it, awfully injured. Okay, last year posted 3.49 ERA, 1.19 whip, not an elevated whip, but not an elite whip. Okay, but again, he's coming in here 132 strikeouts, 45 walks, okay, across 157 innings for the Mets last season. Okay, so again, he comes in here to go behind Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola. So again, this gives you a really, really good 1, 2, 3. And we haven't even talked about the young guys. We haven't even talked about, the evolution of Ranger Suarez. We haven't even talked about possibly adding another arm. Okay. Like, again, I look at these moves as saying, who do they replace? Right? I look at that and say, who do they replace? And you think about it. I mean, technically, okay, you're replacing two guys in Noah Syndergaard and Kyle Gibson, and you're inserting Taijuan Walker. I'll take that any day of the week. Okay, take that anyway. He was 12-5. Okay, 12-5, 39 games, or 29 games started. 157 innings, 143 hits given up, 63 runs, 61 earned runs, 15 home runs, 45 walks, strikeouts 132. Okay, but again, if you look at it, 1.19 whip is not bad. Now, the only thing I will say is it's gone up the last few years. Now, in 2020, he only pitched in 6 games. This is a guy who was injured a lot. If you think you're going to get the 2015, 16, and 17 version, relax and pump the brakes, okay? But again, he's only 30, okay? He's only 30. You saw deals a couple years ago in Toronto with a guy like Kevin Gausman who goes out there and just balls out on a 1-year deal. Same thing, or I should say with the San Francisco Giants when he did that. So again, got him that big money deal. Again, this isn't but it's 4 years, okay? Because it has draft pick compensation. But this is a huge deal again for the Philadelphia Phillies, who just continue to act like the postseason never ended. It's like the postseason has never ended for us. We just continue and continue to build. Listen, this is a great time to be a Philadelphia fan. It really is. It's a great time. First, you watch Andrew Heaney signs with the Rangers. The Rangers get DeGrom and Heaney, and you knew that something was coming. Okay, the Philadelphia Phillies, Dave Dombrowski. Okay, I said this earlier. I keep saying it. Like, I think I have a Dombro man crush. Really, I think I really do. I think I have a Dombro man crush. I think if I was able to propose to Dombro, I think I would, because he's got me so excited. And just begging for baseball back again. I mean, who cannot wait for spring training already? I mean, we have this abomination of the Philadelphia 76ers until Doc Rivers gets booted. We got to continue to watch this product. And we watch Charles Bassey just kicking ass over there with the San Antonio Spurs and young guys that couldn't get no clock here, but all of a sudden go and be superstars everywhere else. Okay, and we're just wasting the prime of Joel Embiid, which absolutely sucks. I don't even watch hockey, so I can't even tell you what the hell's going on with the Flyers. I'll leave that to the Flyer and Ice guys. But I know what's going on with the Phillies, and the Eagles are 11-1, and this is a great time. This is a great time to be a fan. Again, this just doesn't even give you the hangover from the World Series. Usually you have a hangover. You say, you know what? I'm so glad I needed a break. It was so exciting, but it just keeps on going. And it's going to continue to keep on going. Listen, people, we have a farm system now, too. Like, we have a lot of things that we have to look forward to. It's not just free agency, right? It's not just free agency. This is a farm system that we have the ability to bring up and have kids that actually contribute. Okay, the kids that can actually contribute. You have that next man up mentality. You watched it last year with guys like Derek Hall, who just came up and stepped in. Okay, just came up and stepped in. And let me just say one thing, because again, we're not going to go half hour, 45 minutes here. This is just, again, breaking verdict, Taijuan Walker. And again, if you're not watching this on YouTube, make sure you fling over to YouTube. Make sure you hit that notification button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. I think we're up to like 1.72. Okay, we consistently have people engaging. We go back and forth. It's a great thing, whether you're a Philly fan, whether you're not a Philly fan, whether you're just a baseball fan, doesn't matter. We're all in this together, and we're all here to talk professionally about the world that we love, which is sports. Okay, but it's all about culture. Every single one of these signings, okay, there's extra things about them. There's extra intangibles about them. And again, I don't know much about Taijuan Walker. I'll be the first one to tell you. Okay, when it comes to his attitude, or his desire, or his his bench presence. I'm not that guy. All right. We'll have to find out and we'll have to ask and find out. Again, I remember when we signed Zach Wheeler, and again, a guy that does a lot of New York radio. I reached out to Jake Brown, and Jake Brown said, "I said, Jake, what are we getting here with Zach?" And he said, "Listen, man, if this kid can stay healthy, he is legit." And he was right, right? He was right, and he honestly said, "Listen, I don't think I would have paid him that money." He's like, I honestly don't think I would have paid him that money. And then you know what? 2 years later, he reached out to me. He was like, "Man, was I dead wrong?" Which is great. Like I say it all the time, it's okay to have your opinions. It's okay to say when you're wrong. You know that they were wrong, but that's okay. My man Adam checking this is another big signing by the Phillies. We will be there next year again. Yes, Adam, 100%. I mean, the train just keeps on rolling. I mean, how can you not get excited? How can you not get excited? And once again, we owe this all to Money Middleton. I talked about this before. Let's get the hashtag going. Money Middleton. Okay, because that's what we're going to call this guy, Money Middleton. Listen, you have Money Mayweather, and then you got Money Middleton. Okay, because Money Middleton is continue to make it happen. Listen. He was not lying, people, when he said that he wanted to bring this trophy back home. Again, let me know what you're thinking. If you're watching the show, whether we're live or we're not, throw it in the comments. How you feeling about this? Are you happy? Again, 4 years, $72 million AAV. Listen, it's under 20 a year. Okay, it's under 20 a year. No matter what the way it's panned out. I mean, you're talking about what? Like again, 20 a year would be 80, right? You're talking about $18 million deal. Again, $18 million for a number 3/4 starter who can possibly win 15 games if he's healthy and strike out 150 and give you close to 200 innings as long as he can stay healthy. I mean, how can you go wrong? It's a fantastic signing. A fantastic signing. 100%. My man Jay checking in. Money Middleton. Exactly, Jay. We're going to start that. Listen, I am 100% classifying that name right there as Money Middleton. So if anybody tries to steal that shit, you know it came right here from Jigsaw first. Money Middleton. I will tweet it out later. This is his name from now on. It's Money Middleton. Okay, Money Mayweather. Now we got Money Middleton. We got Money Middleton in Philadelphia. And goddamn, is it feel good. Finally, again, let's be honest. Let's tip our hat because we've gone through this before, okay? And we got to give him props. No matter you say it didn't work or it didn't work, okay? But Ruben Amaro Jr., whether you liked him or you didn't like him, he did the same kind of thing, okay? It just didn't work out. We should have won 2 World Series, okay? We should have went back to back. God damn, I still have flashbacks at stupid Johnny Damon play and Jorge Posada and Hideki Matsui. I mean, come on, man. It's ridiculous. We should have 2. Okay. How do you know? Listen, again, Pedro Martinez, who's your daddy, goes into New York, goes into the Bronx, and throws it down, and we still can't come away with a win. But we're going out there and doing it again. And this is what I love about my man, Money Middleton. Adam checking it says, Dimebags Dombrowski. We got to be careful with that, Adam, because Dimebags could be a little something. I don't know if he's into the CBD or the natural healing, we'll call it. He might have to go to Colorado for that. But we need to watch these nicknames because you never know. They might not be, we might get the FCC rules may apply. But now, in all seriousness, listen, Taijuan Walker is a Philadelphia Philly. Again, Jay checking it. 18 million is about what they would have paid. Exactly. Jay knows Sports Skill Radio taking a hiatus because Jay's working his ass off, which we all know. We got to make some money moves every now and then. Jay's making money moves as always. Congrats on a new house. He says 18 million is about what they would have paid for former second baseman Gene Segura. Listen, I agree. Like Jay's right. You got to compare these moves to what the money they would have spent on this team. The money they would have spent on this team. Okay? I mean, you have to think about what did let's look at it this way. I'm going to get these numbers for you while we're live here. Okay? Because again, Kyle Gibson signs a 1-year, $8.1 million contract with Minnesota. No, that was his arbitration. Okay. I'm sorry, 1-year, $10 million contract with the Orioles, right? He signs 1 year and $10 million with the Orioles for $8 million more. We get Taijuan Walker. Think about that. less than double the price of Kyle Gibson. And you saw the Kyle Gibson experiment. When it was good, it was good. When it was bad, goddamn, was it bad. Right? The wheels came off the Kyle Gibson wagon extremely fast. Okay. Extremely fast. So again, this is a tremendous signing for the Philadelphia Phillies. It's always going to be health. And here's the thing about health we have to look at too. And again, make sure you're following the Final Judgment right here on YouTube. You're checking in. Again, make sure you're liking the page. Make sure you're subscribing. As always, our good friends at Win Daily Sports for all your sports betting and DFS needs. And as always, Heat Ratio Sports for all your local and national sports talk. When it comes to YouTube, some fantastic personalities on there all day long, including myself. But make sure you're checking out, as always, the Final Judgment right here, whether it's on podcasts, we're on all national platforms, whether it's on YouTube, this is where you want to be. But again, looking at health and saying, what if he misses time, right? The best thing is, like I said, you have these guys in the farm system that can come up if need be. You also have the alternatives now, right? We have to think about it. You watch, even though Sir Anthony Dominguez to me should be the closer, the back end of your rotation is set with Alvarado and Dominguez, right? But again, you watch Ranger Suarez pitch extremely well out of the bullpen, even though they like him as a starter. Okay, you never know what they're going to think here, right? You never know if these young kids come up and they possibly pitch really, really well. I mean, now you have a stud to go back into the bullpen if you need be with Ranger Suarez, as long as Taijuan Walker can stay healthy. And I'm telling you right now, they're not done. They're going to sign another arm in that mid-tier system. I'm telling you right now, they are definitely going to sign another guy. They're not done. They're not done. And again, this is something to absolutely get happy about. Again, breaking verdict, Taijuan Walker signs 4-year deal with the Philadelphia Phillies. Speak out. Talk about it. What are you feeling? I mean, is there any negativity whatsoever about this deal? I don't think so. I mean, we heard a lot of skeptics out there about the Trey Turner deal, 11 years. And again, I agree. My man, Tom Orno, Mr. No Notes from A2D Radio, which I said to him, listen, I completely agree, dude. These dudes are a bunch of knuckleheads. Okay. What you ain't got a clue. The narrative is so old. Worry about an 11-year deal. Let's worry about the years 6 to 7, man. Let's worry about that. Okay, let's look at the numbers about what that guy's gonna be making at age 40. Okay, at that time we signed Didi Gregorius, okay, to a 2-year deal, right? He was getting paid like $15 million a year, okay, and then all of a sudden, okay, you're worried about a guy in Trey Turner going to get paid 27 AAV at the age of 40. Come on, dude. Like, that's going to be like an average base salary, for a 1-year deal for a guy at that point. And we're not even worried about that. We went too many times. Can I say this? Too many times in Philadelphia, we so get on the narrative of winning later. Right? We consistently stay on this narrative in Philadelphia about winning later. We do it all the goddamn time. Let's worry about 5 years from now. Let's worry about 6 years from now. Who cares about 6 years from now? I need to win now. Okay, yes, you have to be smart. I understand. I get it. But why do we always have to wait? Like, why do we always say, no, let's win now. Let's put all the chips in and let's win now. And that's what we're doing here. And there's a smart way to do it. The Phillies are showing you that smart way to do it by still being able to build a farm system and still spend money the right way. Like, again, I don't understand why this is so goddamn hard to comprehend. We could do it. So let's stop worrying about 2030. Okay, let's worry about 2023. Let's worry about 2024, because that's the nucleus of this team and when you need to win. And it's ours right now. It's ours. It's ours for the taking. Okay, brand new season. Okay, we have the experience. We have guys that have been in the postseason now. We are all here, man. We are all here. My man Javon checking in. J Alfred 10 on Twitter. Taijuan Walker, love the move. I was talking to my friend about last month how he would be the perfect 4 starter. I'll tell you, Javon, it is amazing. Whether he's 3 or 4, I'm guessing you're putting Ranger at 3, and right away you're going to go with Taijuan at 4. Again, the middle of the rotation, is 3-4 for me. And again, this is a tremendous move. I agree. He says Walker's coming off his best season. I think he's just coming into his own. He also had an excellent ground ball rate last season. That's why you got people like Giovanna coming in ace in the hole here. Okay. J Alfred 10 on Twitter. Make sure you follow, whether it's regular sports talk, whether it be sports betting, whether it be fantasy. Dude does it all for sporting news and everywhere else. And he always brings something right there. Excellent ground ball rate last season, which is what you need in a bandbox like Citizens Bank Park, right? 100% coming up 12-5 year, man. And again, Javon, I said the same thing earlier before you checked in about this was the same kind of deal when we signed when we signed Zach Wheeler, right? This is the same kind of deal when we signed Zach Wheeler. When Zach Wheeler signed that big money deal, a lot of people were saying the same thing, man. 28, 29, 30, guys off injured. Can he really be that guy? Can he give you that stability? Can he stay healthy? It was the same thing. And here we go. Right? Here we go. Again. It's the same kind of deal, same kind of player coming off his best year, 12-5. And again, the thing is, people say, oh, well, it was only 1 year. No, here's the thing. And Javon knows this, and Adam knows this, and Jay knows this, and you people that actually follow baseball know this, that Taijuan Walker's always had this ability. It's just about staying healthy. So last year wasn't an aberration. It's not like the 12-5 isn't an aberration. What it is it's saying he finally was healthy enough to show his true talent, which means if he's healthy, that's what you can expect. That wasn't a 1 year wonder. And that's the best part about this. It's not like this dude was healthy for 7 years and all of a sudden posted, you went 5-11, 5-11, 5-11, 12-5. No, he went 0-1, 1-1. Look, I can be honest with you. I can pull it up right now. Okay. He didn't even pitch, okay, in 2019 because of injury. Okay, 2020, 4-3. 2020, again, total 4-3 for the whole year because injured again. 7-11 for the Mets. Okay, pitches 18 games. And then 2022, he finally goes 12-5. Okay, but remember, in 2015, he was 11-8. 2016, 8-11. 2017, 9-9. Then he was just injured, oft injured, 18, 19, 20. I mean, the dude just couldn't stay healthy, right? We talk about that all the time. The dude just couldn't stay healthy. Okay, and now you see his talents finally come out. Projected right now on baseballreference.com is at age 30, a 10-8 record, 3.80 ERA, give you a 1.20 whip, 136 strikeouts, and 154 innings. Me personally, I would fully expect, and I'd love to get your opinions on this, but I would fully expect that if he could stay healthy, if he can win 12 games with the Mets, which were a very good team last year, obviously, until the monumental collapse. I think with this Phillies team, there's no question to me if he can stay healthy, he can get to 15 wins. I really think he can get to 15 wins. If he can get to 15 wins, you're talking about a third or fourth starter. Right? A third or fourth starter gets 15 wins. I mean, let's talk about it. We went into that World Series knowing that pitching was going to be the strength of the Houston Astros. We already knew that. They went 4 deep. We actually, if Ranger's still in that rotation, which he should be, right? Right now, 100%, you talk about a rotation that can go 4 deep. 4 deep with double-digit wins. 4 deep with double-digit wins, right? Again, it's just unbelievable. I'll go with that core in that offensive powerhouse. This is great, man. My man Mike checking in says everything is question marks. All the time, it's all gamble, peaks and valleys, players up and down seasons, either on a personal level or based on team lineups. Absolutely, Mike. It's all gamble. Everything's a gamble. When you spend this kind of money, you spend stupid money, it's a gamble. I agree. Sean says, I absolutely love watching the Phillies be the reason the Mets have a miserable all season. Sean checking in as always, doing big things out there in the lacrosse sector. Yeah, man, I completely agree, man. It's nothing like it to see the LOL Mets, like my man Mike Diaz from Green Legion always says, to see that collapse, right? To see that collapse. My mom checking in says, good luck, second base. She talking about Trey Turner. Sean says, why do you guys care? It's not our money. They're getting guys who have proven themselves lately. I'm with Tony. Exactly. It's not our money. I always say it's not our money. It's definitely not our money. We sit there and we watch, and this is the guy right here. It's his money. It's Money Middleton's money. Money Middleton. And Money Middleton's got a ton of money. He's got a ton of money, and he's not afraid to say, he's not afraid to spend it. He consistently wants to spend it. So let him spend it, man. Mike says, I'm all for the move so far. Let's get wild. Let's wild out like the Lock said back in the day. Right? Like the Lock said back in the day, wild out, right? Wild out. I get that sound clip or might get kicked off. Sean says, and there's no salary cap, so it doesn't affect anything. It's only a luxury tax. It's a threshold. And listen, Sean knows as well as I do, the best part is you don't have that stick Matt Clintack anymore. You actually got a money guy and a baseball guy and Dave Dombrowski that understands how to work these contracts, to the fact that he can fit everything under that umbrella, still be competitive every year, and continue to go for a World Series. It is like there's nothing else I can say about it, man. I love it. Mike says, I'm living in the now. Screw 6 years. Exactly. Screw 6 years from now, Mike. 100%. My man Larry checking in. Larry, I ain't seen you in a while. Larry, what's up? Larry says, I said Turner and Painter will impact last year. Walker is a decent 4-starter. You're right, Larry. You did say that. And one of those guys, if you listen to Rob Thompson, it looks like one of those guys will be up this year. When they come up, time will tell. Okay, but again, this is huge, right? This is another reason why I like this signing. Okay, because not only will Painter be impactful this year, but now you don't have to rush that impact, right? You don't have to rush that impact. So many teams go into the season with only a 4-man rotation in the beginning anyway. Man, you think about that. So now you allow this kid to continue to get more innings, okay, at a lower level, get him ready for the bigs, whether maybe you bring him up in May or June, you throw him in the back end of the bullpen as a spot starter, right, for those double headers or for those extra weeks. And then you look at it and say, this kid's ready now, right? This kid's ready now. And then maybe you go 5 deep. Maybe you go 5 deep when you need that postseason run in August, when you finally get your man Bryce back, 100%. And Sean says, yep, this is all exactly. Sean, we were saying it literally. See, this is what's great about this. And Sean, as always, love you, brother. I love you for checking in all the time. He says, this is all great for Painter because it takes the pressure off him. He doesn't need to step in at top 4 spot of the rotation. Like literally, I think as I was talking, Sean was like, we were thinking the same exact thing. 100%, man. 100%. This is exactly what this means. I love it. My man, Larry, I'm good. Yeah, Larry, just making sure you're good. I'm glad you're good, man. Mike says, I'm not a GM trying to maintain a career. Pops away. Exactly, right? Exactly. Matt, Sean says Matty Mops living in the janitor's closet. He's talking about my man, Matt Clintack. He knows that. Matt Clintack. Where is Matt? Hey, Matt, where's Matt at? Where's Matt at? But again, Money Middleton. Make sure that's trending, everybody out there. And then I'm branding it right here with Tony Jigsaw Cutillo. It's called Money Middleton, right after Money Mayweather. So we're going to start hashtagging that, Money Middleton. I love that name. I think it'll trend. Let's get it going. Money Middleton is the name. And again, let's just give him another round of applause right here. We give him a clap. Right away, let's give him a clap because Money Mayweather it was a money machine when it comes to boxing, and Money Middleton is proven to be a money machine when it comes to the Philadelphia Phillies in Major League Baseball. Jay says, Bailey, Falter, Painter, McGarry, Abel now have a legit bat. Look at that. Look at those names. And again, look how much the landscape has changed for the Philadelphia Phillies. What Jay says right here, Falter, Painter, McGarry, Abel, or Abel, okay, now have a legit battle for a number 5 spot. He's just naming 4 guys, 4 young guys. Falter actually did get some experience in the postseason, which is great. Okay, but 4 guys battling out for 1. If you go back 3 or 4 years with this team, we were talking about saying, we have 4 guys battling for at least 2 or 3 spots. We would have to rely on these kids in high pressure situations or guys who haven't locked the innings in spots they weren't ready for. And now we don't have to do it. Sean says Middleton made money, Ari. $40 for felt pennants in the team store. Where you spend your bucks, Johnny? $40 for felt pennants. I love it. Javon says, don't be surprised if Gary's in the pen this season. Remember, he flew through the system last season. Exactly. I think a couple of these guys, Javon, are going to be in the bullpen coming up. I really do. If we go back to that, I honestly listen. I really think that you're going to see Falter in the bullpen as well. I do. As like a spot starter until Painter is ready. I fully feel that way, and I do think they're going to sign another arm. I do. I think they're going to sign another arm. Danny Green checking in, old school checking in, says, I predict a mid-year call-up. Hopefully, whichever kid it is, he'll be productive. This could avoid shutting him down like the Nats did with Strasburg. It's a great point because, again, you rush a young guy who hasn't logged the innings on that elbow, on that arm, at the big league stage, and now you don't have to do that. Right. I agree, Dan. I keep saying that mid-year call for sure. Right after they expand the roster, maybe like in May or June, I could definitely see them come up right before the All-Star break. Maybe a little after the All-Star break. I don't know. Well, I think it's all going to depend on where they're at. Really. Larry says, can you imagine how much of an advantage when Painter is matched up against another team's number 5? It's a great point. Think about that. That's a fantastic point. Think about that. Imagine that. Right? Imagine that. We don't have a stiff now as a number 5. Like, we don't have to throw that stiff out there like an Annabelle Sanchez or some stiff that was like bagging groceries the week before. We just throw him in, on the heap and hope he gives us a couple innings. Now, we have a legitimate number 5. Okay, we're going to have a legitimate number 5. And that is tremendous. That is tremendous. I can't be happier, man. I can't be happier. Again, this is the Final Judgment with Tony Jigsaw Cutillo, powered by Heat Ratio Sports, powered by Win Daily Sports. Make sure you're following both of those sites, but also make sure you're following right here where you're getting this program at, and that is the Final Judgment. If you're on Facebook, you're checking on Facebook, and if you're familiar with YouTube, swing over to YouTube. Make sure you register for account. It's free, and then you can follow the Final Judgment all the time on all the shows. There's tremendous stuff that you don't even see on Facebook. Interviews that I conduct, short segments that we do, all kinds of stuff. So you want to get on the channel, subscribe, and hit the notification bell and hit the like button. Not only will it help me, but it'll help you grab all the content as it comes alive. Again, a lot of big things coming up. A lot of big interviews coming up, so I'm looking forward to that. But again, if you're coming late to the party, okay, breaking news, breaking verdict, okay, Jeff Passan already, of ESPN reports, or Taijuan Walker agrees to a 4-year, $72 million contract with the Phillies. Okay, right after the Trey Turner signing, they didn't waste any time. I think we all knew the arms was coming. We all knew that when we saw the AAV of Trey Turner. I said this on the show. I wasn't the only one to say it. Okay, but knowing how the system works, you saw the winter meeting starting to conduct, and a lot of people thought that Trey Turner was going to wait. Okay, because he is a Scott Boras client. So hats off to Middleton as well. Not only spend the money, but hats off to Dombrowski for brokering a deal with the super agent again in Scott Boras. Let's not forget. Okay, let's not forget that our man Matt Klintak couldn't broker the deal with Scott Boras. It had to be Money Middleton had to broker the deal with Scott Boras. He had to hop on a special plane to go because guess what? Boras was like, I'm done with Matt Klintak. I don't want to talk to this guy anymore. Okay, but Dombrowski is a money guy. Dombrowski is a baseball guy. He's both in one sitting. And he went out there and brokered this deal. And the closer, like I keep saying, with Trey Turner, the closer was going to be Rob Thompson. And now you already get that, right? You already get that, that feeling, that vibe, okay? That Trey Turner wanted to play here in Philadelphia. And again, you don't get this without being respected around Major League Baseball. You don't even get those conversations to be the first guy to sign, okay, and to go actually longer than what a Fangraph report was supposed to be, unless you have that credibility with a super agent like Scott Boras. And again, that's huge, man. People have to remember that. That is a big deal, man. It's a huge part of that Trey Turner deal. And now you flip the script and then you sign another guy right off the bat because you were afforded the opportunity to sign it, your main piece early. Like, think about that. Right, all the other teams, like where's Aaron Judge going to go? Where's Bogarts going to go? Right, where's Carlos Correa going to go? You have all this stuff out there, and those teams still have to wait. They can't do anything else because they have to wait. The two teams that really jumped out early were the Rangers, who wanted Jacob deGrom, and they said we're going to go after our guy, and the Phillies, who want to go after Trey Turner. Right, and they knew And now it's huge. That's what you want to do. My man Dan checking in says, hats off to Bryce. Oh, absolutely, man. But again, I really think, Dan, honestly, not just to Bryce Harper, but I think a lot of this goes to Monty Middleton. Okay. A lot of this goes to Monty Middleton. And I'm going to keep calling him that. It's Monty Middleton to me. And Monty Middleton showed Scott Boras that he's willing to do whatever it takes to get things done. And he's a professional. He's not a Jerry Jones, right? He's in it to win it. And he allows his guys to work. And I think that's a huge part of this deal. My man E, what up, E? I don't know how those plus money bets are looking, man. I'm not watching it. So again, Darius Garland was killing me. He's like 1 for 8 for 3-point land. I should have took that spider 35 plus money. I was really looking at it hard, but I went the 3-point route. It is what it is. We'll see what happens. Adam says the Padres offered Turner a higher salary, but he went to come and be with his boy. But he also wanted to come here, and he also saw what could happen, in this city in Red October. He also saw what could happen when you have a baseball mind like a Rob Thompson lifer that people respect when it comes to the fundamentals. Like, that coaching staff, every single part of that team and that clubhouse culture is exactly why you have a guy like Trey Turner. Simple to come here. Turner set the tone for the mark. And Eric, that never happens, Eric. Right? That doesn't happen with a Scott Boras client. When have you ever saw a Scott Boras client set the market? Right? When have you ever seen that happen? Okay? It's happened twice now for the Philadelphia Phillies. It happened with Bryce Harper. Okay? Remember? Happened with Bryce Harper. And then it happened with Trey Turner. Like, that's huge. Who does that? Scott Boras, super agent. We just did it twice in Philadelphia. Hats off. Because guess what? That stiff Clintack was here, and Monty Middleton had to intervene to get that done. They get that deal done. And now Monty Middleton is still here, right? Still here. But again, at the end of the day, this is a tremendous deal. Javon says, these last two offseasons have been exciting. Schwarber, Castellanos, Trey Turner, Taijuan Walker. This team looks completely different from when they signed Bryce Harper. And again, a lot of that, right? A lot of that is because of, we have to thank Bryce Harper again, like not just softening up Trey Turner like Dane Green speculated above, but again for making this team so competitive for years to come, and knowing that they have an MVP that's willing to do whatever he can do to help this team win. They want to continue to surround this team with talent, and him as well protects it in the lineup and arms on the bullpen to continue this winning streak going. So it's huge. Eric says, I also think Turner wanted to come back to the East Coast, closer to home. I don't disagree with that at all. Location is huge. I mean, who doesn't want to go out to San Diego, right? But again, why would you want to play with that knucklehead Manny Machado, in my opinion? I think you looked at, I talked about this in the postseason. If you're Trey Turner and you look at two teams, you say, okay, look what San Diego's doing out there. They're both some pompous idiots out there. You have all the bad storylines and drama going on with Fernando Tatis. You got this selfies going on in the clubhouse, with Manny Machado, that I'm all about Manny. Or you could come here where players are continuing to root for each other and be a baseball family. So obviously that's huge. And I think he saw that as well. And that's something that we have to look at. Sean says, get me Adam and Chad Green for the bullpen. Ottavino and Chad Green for the bullpen, and I'm good. We could then hibernate a couple months. I like those two arms, man. I do. Listen, Sean, I agree. I think they definitely built this bullpen up a little bit. I do. I think that they're not done. They know. Listen, they had limitations in that bullpen in the postseason. I think they knew that. And you saw the way Rob Thompson wanted to play it. And there's no doubt in my mind that when they get back to the postseason, he will use that bullpen the same way they did it in New York for many, many years. And he'll do it the same way, which means he was the interim coach. Let's remember this, right? Let's remember this. He was the interim coach. So now this year you get his stamp of approval in the offseason. Something you could not be, right? Something you could not be. I noticed a joke. Look at Matt Clintack checking in. You were saying Matt was a stiff. That's what I said, Matt. Okay. It was absolute stiff, in my opinion. Okay. You were a bean counter. You were a money guy who couldn't get a job done. You couldn't get the deal done out there. Okay. You sat there at that press conference, and what you did was you acted like you made that deal when it was Money Middleton who made that deal. So shout out for somebody making that profile right there for Matt Clintack. I love it, man. 100%. I would love to know who that is. That was fantastic. Fantastic. Love this stuff, man. Eric says, imagine what Xander is going to ask for. It's going to be interesting. Bruce checking in. Bruce, new to the show. Bruce Lear says, Middleton saw them seats packed at the bank and saw all that money he was making and was like, let's spend it to keep it like that. Yes. 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 Bruce, again, Money Middleton. Get it trending. Money Middleton right there. I love every minute of it. Sean says, this team looks completely different because of Bryce Harper because he didn't want the bag. He wanted to win. You're absolutely right. He set the precedent early, and I love it, man. Set the precedent early. Bruce, if this is your first onto the channel, hit that subscription button, hit that notification bell, hit that like button for us tremendously. Please continue to get dialed in to all the content here on the Final Judgment. Sean says, like he said, this team looks completely different. Jay says, please don't discount the power of the wife. Trey Turner's wife hails from Flemington, New Jersey. It sounds like Jay might have had a couple drinks. Okay. Sounds like Jay might have had a couple drinks with Trey Turner's wife and Mr. Trey Turner. Maybe Jay had a little power out there when it comes to bringing in Trey Turner to the Philadelphia Phillies. But no, listen, happy wife, happy life, right? It's exactly the way this works. So yes, look, Larry was checking in. Larry said the same thing. Turner's wife from South Jersey. Maybe Larry and Jay had something to do with this deal. I love it. Eric says, I love how people said Harper was a bad teammate in Washington while his relationship with Turner was huge and signing. You know, that's great, man. That's what I love. Again, that's exactly what I love about it, because everybody says, listen, AJ Brown, bad teammate. CJ Gardner-Johnson, bad teammate. They come into Philadelphia. Wow. All of a sudden, they're into the culture. They're good teammates. They're good players. They want to win, right? It's all about what you bring, man. And again, listen, Bryce was young. You know what I mean, Eric? That narrative, Bryce was a young man. He came in the league, right, 18, 19 years old. And again, when you're young like that, I mean, I remember when I was young like that. We all remember when we were young like that. We were invincible, right? We didn't know what the hell we were doing. We didn't know what the hell we were saying, right? We said so many different things we probably regret it, okay, all the time. Right. Let's think about that. So, he learned. Listen, I says that his family upbringing, his stability, okay, with his dad being a blue collar steel worker, going to work every single day, Monday to Friday, with the packed lunch, coming home to make sure that his kids on the weekend had everything he could have in Bryce Harper. Make sure he went to that tournament. He had that special bat. He had those spikes. He had that money to do those camps. I get it. Listen, here's the hat. I coach soccer. I see these kids come up. I see what they go through, the amount of time that they train. So hats off to the Harpers for raising such a brilliant and mature young man who continues to be a role model for so many people on that team. So yes, 100%. Adam says, opening day, April 6th. Yeah, I'll be down there. I guarantee you that. I'll be down there. Matt says, my man Matt Clintack checking in again. Says, I say back, back and drank a few whiskey sours and used the booze as a meditation. I love it, man. Now we're finding out Matt Clintack's a drinker, man. I love it. Matt Clintack is a drinker. Matt also says, looking back, I started this. I lit the fire for them. I only did so because my Jigsaw's advice and mentorship. Thank you. God bless. My man Matt, so humble, right? My man Mike checking in says he's so humble. 100%. My man Al checking in. A 2-minute warning. Philadelphia Phillies are bringing the money bags, right? Bringing the money bags. They make it like Cardi B says. They're making money moves, man. They're making money moves. I love it. Money Middleton, again, throw it up there, man. My man Money Middleton is making money moves like Cardi B. Check it out. I love every second of it, man. I love every second of it. It's the comments flowing in. Speaking of soccer, how you enjoying the World Cup? Eric, it's been fantastic, man. It's a tough Tough loss for Team USA, obviously, but I think they had a good showing. And again, if we could just take some of those injuries out, I'd be good to go. Sean says, I've been around sports a long time. The guys who bitch about others are the bad teammates because chances are they are the ones that are bitching about holding them accountable to win, and they don't like it. Listen, I say it all the time, Sean. I couldn't agree more. When I first started my first job, I remember being trained, and I remember, one of the guys I was training with, guy who was training me was like, "Hey, you see these 4 guys over here? These guys are bums, man. You don't want to learn from them. See these 4 guys over here? These guys are fantastic, man. These are the guys that you want to work with, right?" Come to find out, the 4 guys I want to work with were the guys that were loads. And the 4 guys that were supposedly loads were the dudes that were the guys I wanted to learn from. Okay, so I always say, judge for yourself. Don't go by what people say. Judge for yourself, and that's what we've been doing in this town. Mike says, "Wow, Matt, you have been humble." Yeah, Matt, my man Matt Clintack checking in, being humble tonight. Love it. Says all we could do is appreciate the effort. Yes, we appreciate the effort. Adam says Clintack is working on the traveling circus team. He could be. Hopefully, he's the guy picking up the elephant turds. Eric says, "Can DD be the GM of the Sixers?" Haha, I don't think Morey is as great as we thought. Listen, man, Daryl Morey, I don't think Daryl Morey is the problem. I'm going to be honest with you, but I'll tell you one thing, Eric. Okay, I know it's a Philly show. I will say one thing. They need to get rid of Doc Rivers. And if they get rid of Doc Rivers and they bring in Mike D'Antoni, I'm done. My Sixers card is hanging off the wall. I'm done. Okay, that job is 100% needs to go to Sam Cassell. Larry says, and we have the number 5 pick in the NFL. I mean, that just sums it up right there. And we have right now the number 5, 11-1, and the number 5 pick in the NFL. I mean, listen, all good things are going here for the city of Philadelphia, and we continue to make things happen. Again, this is the final judgment. I am Tony Jigsaw Cutillo. Make sure you're following the final judgment right here on YouTube. Make sure you're logged in. Make sure you're subscribed. You're hitting notification bell just so you know when we go live. And as always, powered by Heat Ratio Sports and Win Daily Sports. Make sure you're following both of those sites as well for local and national sports talk and fantasy and sports betting needs as well. Al checking in from the 2-minute warning says, okay, what's left on the shopping list? Bullpen. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. My man Sean checked in earlier, gave us the two arms we have to be looking at, and he said, let's call it a day, man. He said, let's call it a day. Right here. It says, get me Adam Ottavino and get me Chad Green for the bullpen, and I'm good. Listen, if you can get Ottavino and you can get Green, I'm with Sean, man. We could just hibernate for a couple months. You bring a couple young guys up, and you're good to go because you're going to lean on that bullpen in the postseason. So get them ready now. Mike says, I say we move back to 9, 10, 11 area with that 5. Yeah, I don't think we're going to draft number 5, Mike. I'm with you. Again, Howie's going to make his own Cardi B moves, which are money moves, because, again, let's think about this, right? You're going to have to pay Jalen Hurts. Okay, you're going to pay Jalen Hurts a lot of money, which means you're going to have young guys contribute, which means you're going to need more young guys on rookie deals, which means why would you want to pay a top 5 pick? You're going to want to move back, get picks for the following year, and get guys that are more controllable for less money. So 100%, I agree with that. Alan says, best show ever, Tony. No disrespect to 97.5, right? I got a lot of love for Hunter Brody, Tyrone Johnson. Those 2 guys, they're very receptive to anything we talk about. So I do listen to the show, and I do respect that as well. So I won't take that. I appreciate the love, Adam, but I won't take that role from somebody else. Mike says it moves to 3 and we boost that value huge. Again, absolutely, man. I mean, that pick is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. Sean says, I'm with Mike. That number 5 pick is like rolling away. Just pick us up from future number 1s. Yeah, listen, 100%. You have to think like that. Like I said, Sean, like if you just heard me, you need controllable assets. You're going to pay Jalen Hurts $45 to $50 million a year. You need controllable assets on rookie deals in order to continue to be competitive. So in order to do that, you can't pay a top 5 pick, that signing bonus, and that rookie massive deal. What you need to do is you need to drop down. You have to get more controllable talent at more controllable numbers in order to be future future competitive. Yeah, thanks, Matt K, for checking in. Matt Clintack checking into the show. I appreciate you, Matt, checking in and taking the blow for blow here with Jigsaw. I appreciate that. But again, fellas, listen, 49 minutes here. Breaking news. Taijuan Walker signs 4-year deal with the Philadelphia Phillies, $72 million. Jay says number 5 pick may go up slightly. Rams at 4 claim Baker Mayfield. Maybe they get a win or two. We shall see. We shall see. It'll be interesting. McVay may be able to make Baker work for a couple wins, Jay. I agree. So maybe that pick, does go up. We'll see. We'll see. Either way, I think we definitely move down, and I think that's where we go with that. But again, this has been fantastic. Everybody checking in. It's been great. Again, breaking news: Taijuan Walker, Suns 4-year deal with the Philadelphia Phillies, $72 million. We're going to continue to do these because I think we're going to have more signings and more breaking verdicts. Make sure you're following the show, The Final Judgment with Tony Jigsaw Cutillo. Make sure you give me a follow at Cutillo23, as always, at Judge Jigsaw right there on Twitter, because you just never know when we're going to pop up and what we're going to talk about. Again, I start these, and I'll be honest with you, I start these, and I feel like we're gonna go about 5-10 minutes, vent, have excitement, have some elation, and next thing you know, the comments come rolling in, everybody's checking in, we're having some fun, and I absolutely love it, man. I absolutely love it. So I appreciate everybody for always checking in, and again, we got to check in. And if you want to check in, whether you want to check in, whether it be live on YouTube, whether it be live on Instagram, whether it be live on Facebook, I will get back to you. But the main deal is the check in on YouTube. That's the channel that I'm consistently active on, and we can engage through the comments. Eric says Rams stealing Baker from the Niners. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, right? I like that. I don't know. Today feels like Wednesday. It does feel like Wednesday, man. It really does. Mike says tomorrow break down this picture. Yeah, man. Taijuan. Listen, what we'll do is, we'll have a recap show eventually where we break down all the moves that they made for my man Money Middleton. But before we get out of here, let's give a final shout out to the man right there, my man Money Middleton, making moves again, doing everything in our. Let's give him a little round of applause right there, Money Middleton. Okay, for giving us what we want and what we need, and that's bringing that trophy back to Philadelphia. As always, everybody stay safe and healthy. Thanks for checking in. I completely appreciate it. I love the comments. I love the engagement. Keep it going, even though we're off air. If you want to comment on YouTube, hook it up. I'll make sure I get back to you. But like I say all the time, okay, stay safe, stay healthy. But also, some people have thoughts. Some people have takes. But on this show, you get the final judgment.